Hello, space nerds. It is time for some hacking on space nerds. So last night, I added some beginnings of the real-time strategy AI. So there's actually an opponent that tries to play against you right now. He's not very smart though. His whole strategy, he has two things that he does, and one of them doesn't work. The first thing that he does is he will just build ships and send them off to take over bases, which is probably the most important thing to do. And he always will try to build something. So if for every star base that he controls, he will try to decide what to do, what to build with that star base, and the only thing he ever decides to build is a troop ship. So he has a really, really dumb AI, but it's at least a start. The second thing that he does is, if he has captured, I think, 7 or 8 of the star bases, and there's a total of 9, and he has 40 ships, then he will just decide to tell all of his ships to attack your main base. So once he has sort of gained the upper hand, he will then try to finish you off. Except for whatever reason, that second part doesn't actually work. So he builds up he captures all the bases, he builds up this big army of ships, but he never attacks. So that's what I'm going to try to figure out. Why does that not work? And then, assuming I can get through that, I want to try to add some more behaviors to the ships. Right now I only have 2 behaviors that actually work. Occupy the base and attack the main base. Those are the only 2 behaviors, but I need to have some behaviors like guarding the base or attacking the nearest enemy. There's some other behaviors that I need to implement that are not yet implemented. So let's start first looking at oh, I need to do this, don't I? There we go. I need to let's start first looking at why he doesn't ever attack. So this RTS AI run is the main brain of the AI, and it runs at 10 hertz, just like everything else in the game on the server side. Client side, everything runs at 30 hertz. Server side, 10 hertz. So first of all, he finds all the star bases, and makes a list of them, and then he tries to figure out what he wants to build at each star base, and also on the main planet, our main base. So there's the 2 main planets plus 9 star bases. So this one is figuring out what to do at each of up to 9 star bases. This is figuring out what to do at the home planet. And for each star base, it basically sticks something into a build queue. Here's what I would like to build at this star base. The things cost money. There's only so much money to go around, so it has to prioritize. So potentially, let's see, and then this thing assigns orders to units. Another thing that I noticed yesterday that was wrong was it seems like he doesn't build things as fast as you would expect, and I don't know why. So I may have to debug that too. But let's go to this one, because this is the one that is supposed to attack the main base occasionally and never does. If starbase count is less than 7 or unit count is less than 40, then he's going to try to occupy. If the starbase count is greater than or equal to 7, then he should. What did I? Let's see. So if and then he goes through, and for every ship that he has control over, he checks if the orders are not what he already wants it to. If the orders are already what he wants to do, he doesn't do anything, because doing something costs money. And then he checks, does he have enough money? And this is interesting. This indentation is, no, it's right. Then he sets the orders. He subtracts the money. And he sets the base ID to -1, which means he doesn't know which base, which means he has to figure it out. Nothing obvious jumping out at me as to why. So I'm going to change these numbers. First, I'm going to make a new patch. Debug RTS AI behavior. Okay. It was actually this one. I'm going to change this to I'm going to change this to 1. A unit count is less than 5. That means he should do. Maybe he was never getting the unit count up to 40. Maybe that's all that it was. Let's see. I have half a mind to put some audio in here because this is going to be spraying out some stuff, and sometimes if you can debug by making it play sounds, but this is on the server side, so let's go with that. Make sure this thing is doing what yeah, it looks like it is. Whoops. I seem to have the habit of leaving off the lost letter. Did I put in the patch that speeds things up? didn't. Why did it recompile the bridge update? Oh, probably because I touched one of the headers. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's try it out.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area.
Switch to RTS mode.
Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
Now we should see. So he's just saying occupy. I should have printed some of those numbers out. I don't know why I didn't. So here I am at this one, which means, oh, I also figured out why this wasn't, yesterday this wasn't showing up, and I figured out what was going on there and fixed it. So that means that our enemy is down here and he should be building things. Why is he, or maybe he is building things, but why do they take so long? It seems like I should be quick. So we should see something here, I think. Is it going to? This is where I should put some sound. I mean, he says he... I should have... Is he going to build anything? Wait, what's this? Oh, that's nothing. Why is he taking so long to build something? I would expect a ship to appear by this planet pretty soon. Okay. Ships 0. So there are no ships. I can make a ship. And now ships are 1. Oh no, not that. Where'd that ship go? Come here, you. Ship 0. So he's not building any ships. Why is he not building any ships? Okay, well, let's debug that. I think I have another Well, that was working yesterday. This one. Yeah, let's go with this. This doesn't really do anything, right? It's just printing stuff, right? Maybe. Okay. Let's see what. See how much money he has. Maybe he doesn't have any money for some reason.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area. Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
No, he has lots of money. And he's saying he wants to build a troop ship on this planet, which I believe should be, well, let's see, let's look. Can we tell? So why is he not? What planet are we by? Let's see. We can tell that here. This is TUO, TUO. The other planet on the other side of the universe should be farthest planet. Oh, look, he built a ship. Oops. And that is that's the planet that he was building. So this, what, it's working now. What? So now if I look, so now this time we are down on this planet. That's us. And the enemy is at this planet. And he's building a ship, which is what you want him to do. Okay, so, and he built a second ship. Okay, why is my, okay, there we go. And if we look at, so we have two ships. I forget what I set the limit at. It was something like 5. I guess I can figure it out. So he's got 2 ships and they don't seem to be doing anything. It's like the thing is running. What are these guys doing? Okay, they're moving. So he's taking over this starbase here, it looks like. Or maybe this one, whichever one is closer. In this view, it looks like, yeah, you can't tell. Okay, so he has got, on Starbase 0, he's got 1 guy into it. So the way this works is, these buttons are for the starbases. This is Starbase 0, Starbase 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. These numbers here are first, how many ships you have gotten into the starbase, and second, how many the enemy has gotten in. There can be a total of 4. So if you get 4 in here and the enemy gets 1, then you will then have 3. So you can think of it as each starbase has 4 zones, and to take over the base you need to occupy all 4 zones. But once you control the base, you can lose a zone but without losing control of the starbase until you lose the last zone, and at that point the enemy controls the starbase. So when the enemy gets 4 guys into this one, this button will turn red, meaning he controls it, and then he will be able to use this to build more units. What the hell does this guy think he's doing? This guy's moving entirely too slowly. So if we look for, okay. So this view basically has a very exaggerated scale. So these ships are all way bigger than on this screen than they really are. If I turn that off, then you get a more realistic view. So here's the starbase they're trying to take over. And here's a ship moving towards it, and he just got in. So if I look back over here, this should be a 2 now, and it is. And here comes another one. And now it's a 3. And here comes another one. So once this guy gets in, that'll be 4. They'll take over the base, and that button will turn red. And there it is, red. So that means the enemy has captured this starbase. Now pretty soon, I would expect immediately, this little thing should start spinning as he's building. There it goes. Now that took a little longer than I would have expected, but so, well, no, that's interesting. No, I guess that's right. No, that's, huh. This may be a problem with my debug code. Oh, yeah, okay. This should be outside of this for loop, and it's inside, so it's printing it between everything. So this queue has 2 things in it. One at Starbase 0 and one at his home planet. So he's always trying to build 2 things. Which is how it should work. And now that he's got two sites to build, he should be building ships twice as fast. And he has money, right? Yes, he has all the money in the world. Why does he have all the money in the world? He should be building. He's not building fast enough as of then. Oh, well, wait a minute. Okay. Because I added that RTS speed boost, it makes the money go faster. All right, that makes sense. And it worked. What?
Real-time strategy mode has been disabled.
Interesting. So it worked. What the frick? Maybe he just never built 40 units. Because what happened last night when I messed with it is he took over all of the star bases, and then he never commanded all the ships to attack the main base. He just sat there and he didn't build any ships. Well, maybe that's what happened. Maybe he didn't build quite 40. And then once he had all the bases, he didn't want to build anymore. Is that what's happening? This is interesting. Builder -1. Why is it even running this? Since RTS mode has been turned off. All right. Process build queue. Why is it even getting in there? Shouldn't it? Oh. Okay, that's a problem. Why is this? I mean, I could. Okay. Looking belt and suspenders. That should do it. Should fix that. So the RTS brain was still running even though RTS mode was off, which is a little strange. So this should fix that. Better compile it because I'm prone to making errors. Come on, compile, compile, compile. All right. So still, why does the guy not... He should build more frequently than he does. Why doesn't he? Seems like it takes him forever to build something. Maybe he's resetting the clock on the damn thing. Maybe he's trying to build something, then trying to build it again and resetting the clock so it doesn't actually build. Because the way the building works is there's a counter on each star base, and when you want to build something, there's two variables. One is what you want to build, and the other one is how much time remains before it's built. And so when it starts building something, it sets the thing that it wants to build, and it sets the timer or the counter. And then each tick of the clock at 10 hertz, it decrements that counter. And when that counter hits 0, it puts that item into the game. But if the thing is saying, oh, build this, oh, build this, oh, build this, oh, build this, and each time it sets that counter, then it will basically be denying itself. Maybe that's what's happening. Let's see. Process build. No. Process build queue. That's the one. Let's just look at the starbase. Well, let's look at this case because this is the first case it hits. This should prevent it from resetting the timer, the counter. If the cost of the item is too much, otherwise it sets the... Oh! It's setting the time to the cost, and the cost is much bigger. Okay. Yeah, so the item costs 500 and the time to build is like 10. And so it's taking forever to build because, yeah, okay. Okay, this one. Okay. Okay, I think I want to... This should go a lot faster, so I think I want to change these constants. Let's make this 3, and let's make this 30. We may run into the other bug where the one I was originally trying to solve. Okay, well that's good. I found one bug. This should go a lot faster now. Not the compiling, the enemy should start building things really fast, like a ship per second per star base or something. So it'll just, he's gonna just slaughter us. It should be fun to watch. Not that this isn't fun to watch. The compiler taking its sweet time.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area. Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
Okay, now let's see where we are. We are at that one, which is the top one. So the enemy should be here, and he should be building like crazy, I would think. Is the build queue empty? Huh. Well, why is the build queue empty? It's got plenty of money. Oh, maybe because he's waiting for... What? Doesn't make any sense. Ship 0. He's not built anything. So what does this say? What is all this? Is this? Oh, that's nothing. Why is the build queue empty? Reminds me I need to fix. So this is... I need to go outside. Why is the build queue empty? Why is the build queue empty? So he always builds the same thing. Starbase counts not 0. This should add... Oh. Where do I print the build queue? At the beginning of this. So it seems like... maybe this is failing. don't see how else it could be empty. Because that figure out what to build just always does exactly the same thing, which is build a ship, build a ship, build a ship. So it must not be getting in there, which means it must not be finding that. So why would it not be able to find that? So there's maybe there's something wrong. The way I think that works is it looks for a planet, and there's only 2 that has the same faction. So maybe there's something screwed up about the factions, and maybe it doesn't happen each time. Maybe because it certainly was working before, so maybe it's intermittent. Maybe there's something goofy happening with the factions. Don't like that.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area.
Okay, let's see what
Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
maybe it's, oh, see, look, he's making ships. Now it's working. So it is kind of, now he's making ships very quick. He's already made 3. 5. So now, yeah, he's now it's working more the way that I would expect it to work. Now, I don't know why it wasn't working before. Okay, so he should be blasting through some star bases here. So he's going for starbase 1. Where's starbase 1? Here. Whoops. Went zipping by it. So he's got he's already built 21 ships. 22, 23, 24. And they're all going to the same place, so he has no sense. They have no sense. They're all just like, oh, there's the nearest starbase. Let's go to that. Even though they only need to get 4 guys in there, he's sending 29 guys there until those first 4 get in. And once those first 4 get in, then I imagine all these other guys will go, where do we go? We need to go someplace else. Or they'll continue on their way until they get there, and then they'll be like, wait a minute. I don't remember how it works. We'll watch them and see how it works, maybe. See what they do, because this is about to, maybe it's already happened. Has it already happened? It has. So now these guys are continuing past. They must be going. They're probably going, they're going there. And then that one's probably already damn near occupied. Not yet, but it will be soon. These 4 guys will get in, or maybe somebody will warp in. And then these 3 guys will have to figure something else out. Oh, that's it. So now these guys have, what are they going to do? I don't know how often they recalibrate and figure out. They're already sort of leaving, some of them. They're going here probably. So he has now got 100 ships, which is plenty. So once he gets, what did I say, 5 star bases, and he already has 3, then he will take all of his ships and make them attack my base, and he'll win the game. Here they come. This is Starbase 5. Oop, that quick. I didn't even...
Real-time strategy mode has been disabled.
Now we should not be seeing the build queue and all that stuff because I turned off the debug. All right, so that's now working correctly, I think. So the only question I have is how come the last time I ran it and all I did between was add some debug, how come he didn't build any
Real-time
ships?
strategy mode is now enabled.
And he's building ships right away. So let's try it again. Just try running it again. Maybe it has to do with which planet he's on, because he was on the one in the upper right on the 3D view. Every time I've seen it work. I don't know if I've seen it work when he was on the other one. Maybe it's if he gets the other planet, it doesn't work for some reason. Which I think
Starship
we can figure
has joined.
out by
Leaving high security area.
That's not what I want.
Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
Okay, my ship is not there, so that says my ship is probably up here. And it is. Now. And he's not building ships. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is so when my faction is 2, that means the other guy's faction is 1. It's either 1 or 2, I believe. So maybe when my faction is 2, it doesn't work. When my faction is 1, it works. That's my current working hypothesis. And I think as once it chooses, I can do this
Real-time
RTS mode
strategy
again and
mode
again
is
and
now
again,
enabled.
it will remain the same. So let's try running again. See if it's repeatable. Why would that be, though? That doesn't make any sense. So we're almost 50 minutes into this this thing. I have no idea if anybody's watching. I suspect the answer is no. Because why would they? Why are you guys watching?
Starship has
Is anybody
joined.
watching this?
Leaving high security area.
I don't think anybody's watching this. 0 out of 200. Nope, nobody's watching. That's okay. I don't care. This lets me screw up and nobody's the wiser.
Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
Okay, this time he's down here and he's building ships already.
Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
And he's building ships already.
Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
And he's building ships already. Okay, so that appears to be a reasonable hypothesis. I'm going to say the problem is something to do with he's not finding his base. this one. Main base ID. Oh, maybe it's the same reason. How the hell is that supposed to get set? What is this? Here. So it's supposed to be there, but it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Oh, no. And this gets called when? This one gets called here. Maybe that's too late. We've already told the clients to enable. So how do the clients don't, this is all server side. Clients don't matter for this. This is all server side. So why doesn't this do the right thing? Because it sure looks like it should do the right thing. Well, put some, maybe this is never true. I set the faction here. So this should set it to 1 or 2. 1 will be 1, 1 will be 2. So this should be 0, 1, plus 1. This should be 1, or 2. Computer faction not getting initialized. Don't see how. Well, I guess I'll put some prints here. Maybe this never happens. What do I set it? Set it to 255 initially. Okay. Let's see. Process. That's our build. Maybe this never happens. Well, it was never adding the, so yeah. It was this that was never happening. So let's print it here. Hmm.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area. Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
So this one will probably work. It is working. All right, let's try again.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area. Real-time strategy mode is now
Again,
enabled.
bad luck. We want it to have the other planet because that's the one that doesn't work. This one works. Suppose I could force it if I could figure out how. Not sure what the. Not actually sure why it comes different. I guess maybe it has to do with the object IDs that it gets.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area.
Monotonically increasing, and so maybe it's a matter of
real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
Damn, bad luck again. Come on. Stay awake.
Starship has joined. Leaving high security area. Real-time strategy mode is now enabled.
All right. $9.71. Well, it has a reasonable value. Guess. Is there any way can I get that number? I don't think I have any way to. Maybe from Lua. I can get I can look up objects from Lua. Let's see. CD. I think I can look them up. CD. Where's this? Lua. I can never remember how Lua works. Alright, let's look at an example. Is there a way to get I don't have a way to look up an object by name. That seems pretty weird. Get ship attribute ID. I have to have the ID to begin with. Get object name. Oh. What if I just have the name? Get object. No, need the ID. I have a feeling this whole this whole API is predicated on the idea that you know the IDs because you made the IDs. So if you don't have the ID, you can't get it. So you can't. Okay, so that's not going to work. Okay, well, it's been a little more than an hour. So I'm going to stop this thing that nobody is watching anyway. So thanks for watching or not.